Hey, Alex!
Hey,
Alex made it too. Sorry,
good.
buddy. Go ahead and eat. I know you're eating. I just, didn't think me and Alex should
Right.
stand back forever. Uh, so hey, what's up?
I'm excited to get into this absolute uh, monstrosity
I, oh,
of a book. Oh
I'm
man,
sad. I'm so sad. I'm just,
I
I just,
I
I just don't know what else to say. It's like I was talking to Nathan about it because he saw the stream pop up. He's like, "Oh, you're
yeah.
gonna do more." I'm like, I don't know what else to say other than I'm just sad. I am just sad. I don't
I've
know. How you feeling?
yeah, same. This was when you started doing this, I was so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
That's why I did it.
this was supposed to be a fun thing that we could do weekly and nerd out and theorize, and it started off that way.
Yeah, we tried real hard.
And you guys got a negative a little bit faster than I did.
Well, you and Aldan were towing the line pretty hard. You guys were trying. I'll give you guys credit. You and Aldan were trying really hard to be extra fair. You were.
But I wasn't. I don't take back anything that I said either. Like, I think you guys were a little bit too harsh on the first chapters.
Probably.
It's the pattern recognition thing, right? When you see something negative, it's either a one-off thing or it's part of a pattern, right? Mm-hmm. And I wasn't willing to accept
the pattern.
The pattern yet because I hadn't seen Brandon do it yet. Right? I hadn't seen him go this woke.
Yeah.
And so I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and you guys jumped on it, and while I don't regret what I said,
yeah,
what you guys said was absolutely correct too. The signs were there from the beginning of this book that something was different.
Something is very different. I think that's the thing of like, because I'm not like you got, I know some of the woke stuff has been really crushing Aldan and Willix and even you a few times. I'm not even like talking about that because it's there. There's no denying it's there.
But it's right now quality of the story. Yeah, like even take apart, take politics out of it.
Oh God, it's making
the story is a mess.
We Alex, Will, whatever we'll call it, Willix. So we'll go back to Willix.
Willix
broke it down. This is supposed to be our Zeth book. We've
gotten 2 chapters. We've gotten 2 flashbacks.
A Zeth Kaladin buddy adventure with some Dalinar and the Spirit Realm mixed in. Overwhelmingly, the POV chapters are in Shalon by a mile. But it's not even close. By a mile. Like just catching up these last few chapters, and I don't even know where to start. But catching up these last few chapters. I read
the last 6 today.
You get the one. I read. I think I read 7 or 8 tonight at work. Mm-hmm. You get this one point where they're getting to the first church, Zeth and Kaladin. And I'm actually starting to grab hold of something. I'm like, okay, here we go.
We're in Shinovar. Let's go.
Yeah, it's only half a chapter, but just like half a chapter, you're like, we're in Shinovar. You're getting some. You got some little bit of the stuff about the rocks and stuff, which was a little bit weird, but whatever. But we're in Shinovar and we're going to a church, and Kaladin's like, what's in the church? And it's like, that's where the honor blades go, and that's Talon's church. Why is it all black and whatever? Is the freaking unmade there, right? And I'm like, dude, finally, yes, keep going. And
then Kaladin ends the chapter by saying, I need Seth to talk about his feelings.
Exactly.
That's like the last sentence of the chapter.
It goes right back to Kaladin isn't concerned about the unmade. He's concerned about getting Zeth to talk more about his past and try and learn more about the rock stuff. And it's like, Zeth's worried about, like, focus. There's an unmade right there in a church. Like, who cares? Like, and there's just like, oh, everybody. So that's the magic bullet. As long as you have stew, people will talk. So you're just gonna cook Zeth a stew, and he's gonna talk.
I'm gonna make some soup.
Okay, it's like,
what happened?
Unironically, free food is, objectively and has been studied the best way
Right,
to.
but maybe we should focus on the unmade right next door before
Right.
we go make soup.
You're not wrong.
Look,
Yep.
I've been overly optimistic as well because I'm going to Dragonsteel in 3 weeks, right? And I want to enjoy my time there, like I've done for the last 2 years. It's a fun experience to get to talk to other nerds, and I'm gonna show up and not be excited about the book release. It's literally soured the whole experience for me.
You have no idea how tempted I am to show up to that and just mug somebody outside for their tickets.
Sorry.
But the good news is, honestly, like I'm so like turned off of this book right now. I'm more excited to meet Matt Dinneman than I am to do anything else at Dragonsteel. And I have a booth. I have a booth at Dragonsteel. I have to go print out the banner today. I'm going to be making a very long video. Well, I don't know how long the video is, but the data collection is going to take a long time. The entire 3 days that I'm there, maybe not so much the first day because I paid for my booth for the first day, so I'm going to promote myself. But I'm going to pull anyone I run into who's read The Wheel of Time and ask them if they think that the TV show is as good or better than the books.
Ooh.
And then we'll get an actual real number. Because like I feel like this is the perfect place to do it. You can't go to Jordan Con and ask. You're not gonna get, accurate statistics there. But I feel like going to a Brandon Sanderson convention, that's the perfect sampling, right?
I actually think if you asked at Dragon Con, but you just asked it like, all right, I won't snitch. I won't tell anybody. Between you, me, and the Lord, how do you actually feel about the series? I feel like they'd fold.
Even if you like it, do they like it better than the books?
Yeah.
Do 70% of people think it's as good or better than the books?
Oh, we're talking about that made up number. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. Anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be optimistic. Aldan has been even more optimistic than I have.
He's trying,
and he's stopped reading.
Yeah.
He's trying
that's part of what
I can't keep going.
I was 8 chapters behind because I just wasn't. I couldn't do it, right? There was other stuff going on. It's like, do I want to dedicate the time to listening or trying to read? And it's just my time is not being rewarded for listening to this stuff. And it's still more of the same. I mean, like these chapters, you got that one for me. You got that one little section of Zeth and Kaladin marching into Shinovar and going towards the church. And I'm like, okay, I want more of this stuff. This is the stuff I want right here. This is good. Let's keep doing this stuff.
And that that chapter got me excited and pissed me off so much, though, because every time we're 32 chapters into this book, and we've gotten 2 Seth flashbacks.
It was only half a chapter.
Half of a Seth flashback.
And they are... anytime it comes up, I see Seth in the little picture, and I like, yes, we're getting more of Seth, and I scroll down, and it's 1 page. And then the rest is Shallan, and I'm why? We've gotten 2 tiny like paragraph excerpts from Seth flashbacks and Kaladin Seth chapters. We probably got like
Kaladin's on full like weirdo. Like I feel it's like, tell me about your full psychiatrist. He's right. Full psychiatrist Kaladin. Shallan, I think it was you, Will, that said Shallan has had more hand-to-hand combat fighting chapers.
Yeah.
Shallan has had 3 fights now.
And Kaladin
still
hasn't been a weapon yet. She's got a whole vagina, but she hasn't turned into a weapon yet. Apparently the Deadeye rules work differently for Shallan because Shallan is now is bonded to her Deadeye, I guess.
Literally every rule in this universe is different for Shallan.
It's just
every single one.
And then like so, but then we have these
Mhm.
I don't know what else to say but shocking chapters. The lift.
Before we move on from Seth though,
Go ahead.
the chapter that you got excited about, the entire time, Kaladin was like, "Hey," and it kept bringing it up. "Hey, do you want to tell me more of your backstory?"
Yes.
Like this chapter was so meta. He kept saying, "Can we get back to the flashbacks? Can we do it?" Kaladin was saying what the audience wanted, and Seth's response is, "No, none of that is important."
That's
Almost
exactly
like
what he
Brandon
said.
Sanderson was coming down and saying, "You guys have been waiting for this book for 5 books, and guess what? It's not important. You idiots! Why do you care about it?"
So glad you said that because that was this exact words. It's like, do you want to tell me more about the rocks and your family? That seems like it was a bit.
And his response is,
that's not important.
quote, "None of that is important."
Yep.
Unquote.
See, and if that was his answer, and it was none of that is important because we've got to go fuck up some unmade. Lock me in. I'm in for that. But
No, so
it's
Kaladin
not
has
important. So we can talk more about Shallan. Go ahead.
Kaladin has overcome all that by sitting in the sidelines and retiring at 21 in Urithiru and learning that PTSD is a thing. So he's now going to.
He's now an expert on PTSD.
He's now an expert on PTSD, and Dalinar thinks instead of having your most skilled fighter on the field fighting, he wants him to take his other most skilled fighter away and have a therapy session.
Right. I really hope this is a
fighters. It's not even a joke. His 2 most skilled fighters in his dwindling army are off on a field trip.
Has Lady Balefire just now heard about the Chol vagina?
Yes, I've been trying to.
That was months ago.
Well, look, okay.
You've been trying to show her your vagina?
I've been trying to shield her from it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So it's like, so what, like, so we're about to go, I don't even care, because there is literally a chapter, Lift talking to her spren about the gay man's butt.
About Sigzil's butt.
About
Dre's butt. About Dre's husband's butt.
He started saying shit and shit. Like, where did that come from? Like, shit is now, slang
Part
on
of the
Roshar.
vernacular.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where did that come from? No idea.
But Brandon Sanderson, he's literally known for fake swear words.
Lift is now saying shit.
He's infamous for his fake swear words.
Gavinor isn't like my what I wrote in our chat was, why is Gavinor talking to an Artard all chapter? Because Gavinor is quote like smarter than Lift. Lift is just gone full idiot. And she's just she's a third. She's just checking out dude butts the whole chapter and giving Gavinor, the future king of Alekthar, terrible advice.
Lift is 13, which translated into our years is about 15 years old, because years on Roshar are longer.
Like, I forget the thing.
And Brandon decided to write. Brandon decided to write a POV chapter about her sexuality.
She's stuck at 13. That's the thing, right? That's just
she just tells everyone that she's 10. The line is that Lift was 10 and she'd been 10 for the last 3 years.
Oh, is that what?
She's not stuck at that age. Okay. She just doesn't like the idea. She's Peter Pan. She doesn't like the idea of growing up.
I thought for some reason I had it in my brain that she was stuck because of something with cultivation, but whatever.
No, she
was. Well, she was stuck. I mean, that was the deal. But much like Dalinar forgetting his wife, that deal is slipping. Dalinar is starting to remember his wife, and Lift is starting to age. I think that's what this chapter was trying.
And now she's horny, baby.
Yeah, right. Somebody hide all the doorknobs because Lift is fucking humping them. Like, goddamn, Brandon.
She wants to have a devil's 3-way with Dre and his husband at the same time.
And we had to have the whole Drehy section talking about like grooming Renarin and being like, hey,
That was worse.
If
that
you
was
need to
way
have
worse.
if you need me to show you how to, go down on a D, I got you, buddy. It's like
That part made me sick.
Why do I care?
That was one of those.
It's so weird.
That was one of those that I thought, like, okay, even if you're woke, like,
it's creepy. It's really, really creepy.
But it's also like a negative stereotype, like the monkeypox thing. You shouldn't stereotype the gays as wanting to have sex with non-humans. Like
it was,
but
like,
that's what they do.
Well, it's like, what if he's not that? He's like, well, go try anyways, and if he's not, then oh well. It's like, is that okay? Fine. I don't. It's like okay. Why? Like, can we do more of the, like, what's up with the Truth Watcher shit? Can we do that? Like, I don't care about. It's like, it's so just.
We got an entire chapter too from Relaine with Relaine and Renarin, where the entire chapter is a metaphor for homosexuality.
Well, it's
called No Longer Alone or something like that, right?
It's like Renarin blushes and Relaine's like, what did I do? I'm sorry. And he's like, it's okay. And he's like, sorry. Can I touch your butt? It's like, what?
But like the context is that neither of them are windrunners, and they can both go inside each other's visions.
Oh, by the way, just we'll get it out of here right off the top. Apparently, Honor Spren are all racist because they didn't pick
that line. Oh,
didn't pick a listener. He's the only windrunner. It couldn't have been his attitude or anything like that kept an Honor Spren.
What was the quote?
Him.
It's funny.
It was because Honor
it's funny
Spren
how
racist.
Individually, whenever we're confronted, it's a personal choice, but yet those individual decisions start to form patterns.
Is Relaine an incel? Like, individually, I get that no women want to be with me, but clearly there's an organizational issue. Like, Relaine is an incel. Confirmed.
Well, she's straight up
talking about Spren.
It has nothing to do. It's not. There's no self-reflection. It's not. Maybe my personality doesn't lend to being a windrunner, and a truth watcher was the Spren for me. No, it's the Honor Spren are racist. It's like, but what? No, what are you talking? Relaine, I used to like you. What are you doing? Stop.
There is a very big difference. There is a difference between racism, right? Which is thinking that one race is superior, or that one or more races are superior or inferior to another race, right? And disliking that entire race. And and there's a difference between that and maybe being cautious of a Parshendi whose literally entire race has turned to the dark side. And there's one who hasn't.
It would only make sense that Honor Spren are weary of the Parshendi.
I get, yes, technically you're making a judgment on race, but that judgment, we can't say that judgment is saying that the race is inferior. It's just that they're making a judgment and deciding to be cautious because of the person's race.
You're telling me the Honor Spren have noticed the 1360 stats?
And this isn't even like race between the color of skin. This is a different species.
Yeah,
this is an alien species. Yes. Okay, this is like saying, We've made contact with the first Martians, and every single time we've tried to talk to one, they've tried to kill us. And then one Martian shows up and says, "Look, I've gone around and asked everyone for their nuclear codes, and every single president of every single country has told me no." It's funny how individually they'll say, "No, this is just a personal decision," but those personal decisions seem to be making patterns.
This is why Alan's here, because he can articulate what I'm thinking.
What?
That was an outstanding summarization of what that was.
That's why he's here.
Are you insane? I'm not giving the Martian the nuclear codes because every other Martian I've encountered has tried to kill me.
So
it's not even racism, it's speciesism.
It's Stablebo. It's weird. I don't know what the hell is going on. This book is. It doesn't feel.
It's the same. Look, everyone asks me about Tulsi Gabbard. Are you so excited to have Tulsi Gabbard on your team? Look, she's a hottie, okay, but I don't trust her yet. She's been a Democrat her whole life, and I will absolutely love it if she's changing. If she's genuinely changing and I can count her as part of my team. But she needs to give me proof first.
Okay, so Salty, this is what I started with, right? Because I wanted to get it right out there because there is woke shit permeating this whole book so far. It's there. If you don't acknowledge it, you're just putting your hand in the sand. But that's not even the stuff that's bothering me the most. The part that's bothering me the most is I am not getting any of the characters that I've been told are going to be all over this book. This is supposed to be Zeth's book. I'm supposed to be
the character who we've been promised since the beginning. Yeah, he was supposed to be the book 2 flashback. Then he was supposed to be the book 3 flashbacks. Then he was supposed to be the book 4 flashbacks. And finally we get book 5 and we're guaranteed to have Seth flashbacks. And we've had 2 paragraphs.
Yep. And on top of that, the story is a mess. It's a complete mess. It's a complete mess. Like the action scene we just read. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You have your 2 strongest. Your 2 strongest people are about to, which I still think is a mistake, sending your 2 strongest people. Navani gets off in the spiritual realm. There goes Urathiru, but I guess we're not thinking about that. Fine. Whatever. So you're sending them off to a place that's unknown. And there's no security. We don't think about anything. It's just those 2 going, oh, wait, no, there is security. There's 3 unknown guards that are guarding a room that
how did
Shalon's
it wasn't even Dalinar's guard. It was
3 guys.
Shalon was the one who brought the guards. Those weren't Dalinar's guards.
How does she not how is that not like
how are the guards for this not
how is that not the first thing she checks? How is it not? Hey, we're bringing nobody with us because the only ones I can trust are me. You, I can verify you people. The rest, nobody.
Maybe we should check the only other people in the room.
It's not like she doesn't know they can they've got Spren. She knows they can light weave. Like, why would you do this? And then it happens. Like, oh no, the only 3 people that are here that aren't known quantities are the bad guys. It's like, what?
And then they subdue them, and then the Windrunners show up, fight them, stick them to the ceiling, and then leave. And they leave Shalon there alone because there were 2 bridgemen in danger.
I am so tired of
that. I'm sorry. That's not how guarding works.
I'm so tired of Windrunners being portrayed as idiots. They've trapped them. One, they've lashed them, but apparently didn't lash Moraes' arms to the roof, just his back and his hand and his balls or something. I don't fucking know. But then the other person could simply say, "Oh, the guards we're gonna kill them if you don't go save them."
Look,
and neither of them think for. Shalon goes,
who are they? Wait.
It's like,
Steve,
Shalon,
who are they the guards for? Who are they guarding? Who are the guards guarding? They're guarding the High King of the world. Okay? When you take on that position, you accept responsibility that, hey, I'm guarding someone that I will probably have to lay down my life for. Okay? And their threatening is, hey, we're gonna kill the people who've already promised to lay down their lives unless you leave us alone with the person we want to kill.
Have we even considered the fact that, the bad guys said, we have your friends hostage. And they went,
okay.
Hey, Shalon, Do you think it's true that they have our friends hostage?
They just leave, yeah. They don't even...
And she went, yeah, it's probably true. And they went, peace out, and ran. Like, there's at least 3 levels of failure there. There's them asking the question. There's Shallan saying yes. There's them taking off. There's Shallan not saying, wait, you idiots, come back. There's them not, like, sticking Moraze's arm to the ground. Like, there's
like,
them
not even frisking them for weapons.
Exactly.
Shallan already knows he has the weapon.
He knows they have them, and they just lash them, and it's like there's no thought about it. So it's like, go on. It's like, we've won. Bye. It's like, and it's like as soon as that line came out of Shallan's, we've won. Ha ha ha. It's like, dude, some stupid bullshit's about to happen, and that's what happened. They just, it's like. Isn't Shallan in charge at that point? Shouldn't she, like?
I would think so,
because she's ordering people around. So shouldn't she be ordering them to not fucking abandon their post to go fucking look for? Where are you going? Where are you even going looking for these lost guards?
They didn't even ask where they were supposed to be either. They just started running off.
Fuck off! It's like, oh, if we don't give out the signal, they're gonna kill them. Okay, well. How long? How long do we have? Like, before
but even then,
give this signal?
Even if they had the possibility of saving them, your job is to guard the king. If someone says, "Hey, I'm going to threaten these guards," okay, kill them because we're doing our jobs.
Or let's take a step back. Okay. I'm going to start cutting fingers off until you send the signal to the guys.
Look, I know, like, you can't compare apples and oranges, but coming off of Dungeon Crawler Carl, if Carl was in that room...
Oh, yeah, they'd be dead.
They would all be dead. I'm like, I'm loving those books so much. And Steve, you made me pause.
I didn't.
Book 5. I'm on the climax of book 5, which is the best Dungeon Crawler Carl book. And Steve,
I don't know
puts in the chat, hey, we're gonna talk about Wind and Truth tonight, so you guys better catch up. And I'm like,
dude, I'm not gonna take that heat. I just said I was gonna try and catch up myself, and then this happened. So, like. I don't know how you stopped, quite frankly, because
it's literally the climax of the book, and I had to pause it to come here.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I deeply do, because the end of book 5 is so fucking good.
It's already so good, and it got to the climax of the climax. They're like, "This is the thing. We're gonna do the big thing now." Yeah, pause. Let's listen to these extremely exciting chapters where people make good decisions. Look, I did like...
What was Moraze's plan?
I don't know what he wants. I'm genuinely confused. I thought he would want Dalinar to succeed.
Right?
Well, so was Moraze's plan to trap Navani and Dalinar?
I think it was to follow them through. But
I thought it was to go through. I thought that was the whole point. But it sure seems like it was to collapse the perpendicularity and trap Dalinar there. Is that the plan? Like, I don't.
But it doesn't.
He could just open another one. I don't.
His actions don't match what we know about his desires. It doesn't make sense.
Not even remotely. Like, I mean, unless the explanation is okay. You know,
what he's saying,
to need to make a perpendicularity to get out, and then I'm going to run through that one. That's the only possible explanation for what's happening here. And even that's stupid and doesn't make sense.
I feel like I should blame you, Shai, and Eldan for wanting to see more anti-investiture, because now we can't stop seeing it. Like, can it go away? I hate anti-investiture. I hate it. Go away. It's everywhere now. Everything is anti-investiture. I
will say, I liked the fight in the hideout. I like Shallan. I liked Shallan sneaking in and thinking on her feet when she was confronted by the other lady trying to speak a different language. I liked all that part, and I liked that she got shot, and that she had to dispel her magic because of the anti-void light. I liked that part, and I started like, oh, hey, this is actually getting kind of good, and then it was bad again.
Can you ask me or answer me one question because I was confused. Did she know Shah Anat was actually in the doorknob, or was she just bluffing?
No,
because if she's bluffing, it's stupid. If she knew it was there, then fine. But
she had seen Shaw. She didn't know he was in the he was in the doorknob. She'd seen her showing up, and so she knew she was there watching.
So the gambit is somebody speaks a different language, and I just say Shah and not, and everything's okay.
Yeah, it made sense to me.
Yeah, you know what? That part didn't.
Because the Ghostbloods had been looking for her too, and so and they were already on edge, and so her saying, "I just saw a spirit," knowing that she was in the room, and then maybe she'd show up. But even if she didn't show up, it could have been. Well, I thought I saw her, but I guess she's gone. So I
just couldn't tell because then she shows up, and it's like, okay, did she know she was there or no? So I was just confused whether she knew or...
She knew that Shah Anat was present. She didn't know if Shah Anat was going to show herself.
Right. So she just... I guess...
But either way, it could have bought her a little bit of time.
Okay. I was one of those just like, okay, I know we saw Shah Anat when she came in the room, but... okay. It was one of those things that I didn't know if she knew she was in the doorknob or not.
She'd seen her before, not in the doorknob.
No, I know that. I know that.
Okay.
So I just was confused if it was
it was a bluff.
Rolling the dice and hoping or what.
It was an educated bluff.
I am tired of hearing Vale.
Yeah.
I'm
Wait, did we get more Vale?
Yeah,
I thought it was all Radiant.
Vale did more talking in these 8 chapters.
I was kind of mad, so I wasn't paying 100% attention.
She Vale is like, it's all the espionage shit. Vale
was
is
all
talking
Radiant
to her from her subconscious about Maraise is just a man. Don't he's not like a god or nothing.
He's scared of me too. He doesn't know what he's doing.
It's like, I thought you were gone.
He's just a human.
And then we go into the Shadesmar and Shallan is like on fucking color orgasm and Radiant's like, all right, I gotta take over.
I don't know. She was so distracted that she wanted to draw things that Radiant had to take over. Like, we didn't already do this plot line in the last book, and I thought we were done with it. And then the worst line of the whole series was, oh no, if he shoots me with Void Light, it's going to kill both Shallan and Radiant.
No, you misunderstand that. She manifested Radiant as another entity.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that part.
Which is another fucking horrendous thing about this, is these fights are nonsensical. I have no idea what's happening in any of these fights, because I had the exact same reaction.
Where I was like, well, duh, it would kill both of you. You're the same person.
Yeah.
Okay, but if she had manifested Radiant, then yeah.
Yeah. Well, Staple, I have no, like, the ghost, but I don't care. Like, I'm gonna put it straight up. I don't care about the Ghost Bloods right now. I could give a shit. I don't care. I want to see Zeth and I want to see Kaladin. That's it. That's all I want right now, because I've got none of it. I've got none of it for 32 chapters. I just want Kaladin and Zeth and Shinovar. That's all I want. That's it.
It also doesn't make sense that Shallan is so obsessed with the Ghost Bloods right now. They have 10 days until the end of the world, and she's going off of a hunch that she thinks the Ghost Bloods might do something bad, rather than working on the actual known intelligence that the world is going to end in 10 days.
On top of all of this, do we think the most questionable decisions are being made all over the place? Do you think it's wise for Dalinar and Navani to be going into the spiritual realm without finding out what happened from Shallan's raid?
Not together.
Well, they should be going together, period.
Yeah.
But proceeding with that plan without first talking to Shallan about what happened with her Ghostblood raid of the people that we know are trying to get to the spiritual realm.
They did know about it, didn't they?
Maybe we should get the download from them. Maybe we should get the download from her before we do this.
It's so confusing.
It's like, and she's running to try and get a message to Dalinar that they're gonna try and do, and it's like, if we just maybe acted like real people and didn't do another mission that could possibly, and like taking Shallan with you is probably the better choice than taking Navani.
Literally, you can't take Navani. You can't.
You lose her. The tower's fucked. Like the fact that they're so now they're both gone. So So is the sibling? Because I thought Navani couldn't leave Urithiru for a long period of time, or the tower's going to be fucked.
No clue.
So is the tower fucked? Because
probably,
in the spiritual realm. What's up, Adega?
Yeah.
Or are they going to be back in 30 minutes?
Yeah. Or are they going to be like, wow, that was weird. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's so confusing now, right?
What was Hoyd doing that whole time?
What's that?
What was Hoyd doing that whole time?
Yeah, where's Hoyd at?
He was in the room, and we didn't even hear him mentioned once.
Was he in the room, or did he?
Yeah, he was. He was supposedly guiding Dalinar through. He was doing a guided meditation so that Dalinar could do the work. But he wasn't actually doing anything.
He gave him the rock from Ashen to as their anchor point.
A clock,
to come back, and he was in the room with them.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So what's he doing?
No
while
clue.
All this is going on. He didn't catch a knife. That's for sure.
He isn't mentioned once.
And then it's like, so I still need to come back to what is. I don't understand Mraize's plan. So now
I don't either. I don't know what to tell you. I don't either.
Kelsier's mission is for you to find Mishram so he can get a body, right? That's where we're all at, right?
Yeah. So let's blow up the only people who can get there.
Access to that and trap the one guy we don't want to find Mishram in the place where Mishram is.
Right. Now it has been mentioned.
That.
Now it has been mentioned that perhaps Mraize's plans don't 100% align with Kelsier's plans. But also, so maybe he has a different angle. But I cannot, for the life of me, think of any angle that would also be benefited from blowing up the only person who can get into the spiritual realm, and even beyond that, save this world from odium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you think, for some odd reason, you as the Ghost Bloods have better odds against fucking odium than you do against Dalinar. What are you doing?
I don't
like their whole thing is like beyond getting a body. Their presence on Roshar, from what we understand, is they need to find a way to get Stormlight off of Roshar because it is a permanent, renewable source of investiture.
Yeah.
Right? And up until now, they haven't been able to get it off planet because it's localized to the system, right?
Right.
And anti-void light is going to be the answer to that, probably, right? Now we can take it and move it off planet and use it as a renewable, completely free resource that we don't have,
Well,
we can take over the
Aeon Dar is already that. People are walking around with vials of Aeon Dar. Like, why do you need Stormlight when you got freaking bricks of Aeon Dar all over the place? That's one of the problems I have with what's going on Cell. I have no idea how they're packaging up Aeon Dar and just sucking it up as investiture. Like, that's a pretty renewable source. It's everywhere. It's been on what it was in Sunlit Man. There was Aeon Dar. There was Aeon Dar in the other one, the fucking Princess Toadstool and the Ferryman of fucking the Ocean of Spores. That one. There was Aeon Dar.
I think that's what it was called. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Tress. That's it. Tress.
Princess Toadman.
Aeon Dar is now you can bottle it up and drink it, right? So why do you need Stormlight? Aeon Dar's everywhere.
I don't know.
So, I mean, but it's fine. You want to get Stormlight, fine. I don't understand how blowing up the perpendicularity helps you achieve that. I don't understand how what that is going to do to a perpendicularity. You don't, like, how do you know? Because obviously, or either you're just talking out your ass going, have you seen a I've been told it's amazing. It's like, so who told you that? Like, or are you just talking at your ass and being a dick? Maybe you're just being a dick. Fine, Mraize.
Have you ever seen a perpendicularity explode like in Mistborn?
No.
No.
It's like I when he said that, I couldn't help but think of X-Men. What happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning?
Yeah. Same thing as everything else, right? Yeah.
I don't see how you would compare this terrible thing with one of the greatest lines in Hollywood history. But
it's only. Do you know the history behind that line? So he had more. Toad had lines throughout the whole movie. It was a recurring thing. But they all got cut. So every time he showed up, he was gonna do like a one-liner. Hey, do you know what happens to a toad when he kicks you in the butt? Hey, do you know what happens to a toad when he,
Yeah.
And so that was her clapback. Was what happens to a toad when he gets struck by lightning, bitch? But that was the only line that made it into the movie, so it makes no sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
I disagree. I love that line.
I love that line. It's good.
The same thing that happens to everything else is such a flex.
Mark, good to see you, buddy. I think we're low key ruining Dragonsteel for Alan. I'm sorry about that, but
it's okay. I'll still have fun. We're going out to dinner, man.
You should have good fun. It should be great. But I'd still go if I could. But so like Maraise, I'm just confused. So are they going to get away too? That's my next question. Is this going to allow them to slip out again?
Well, the popular theory is they're all going to get sucked into the spiritual realm by this explosion.
That would be fun.
Why would that? Why?
Because
so the rest of the plot can happen.
Do you know what happens to a perpendicularity when it gets struck by lightning?
But
you all get sucked in.
They weren't in it. Weren't they in Shadesmar?
Yes.
So why would they be in the spiritual realm? They'd be in Shadesmar.
There was a big explosion, Steve.
Right. So
after a big explosion.
Okay. So explosions tend to, like, if oh my god, like if. I'm not. You're just trying to get me to explode, right? Because
I'm not. No sense. That's the popular theory.
If you're in Shades, I know but if you're in Shadesmar and a line is cut and it explodes, you should be in the location where the line got cut, not lifted into a spiritual realm of existence because you need them to be there. If they're in Shadesmar when the perpendicularity explodes, they should be in Shadesmar when it's gone because that's where they were physically.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not taking crazy pills.
Okay.
But you're probably right, because then it doesn't matter what Maraise's plan is because it worked. Because he's where he wants to be. Which is stupid.
E-Man wants to know if he should still start the series. Books 1 and 2 are still they're some of the best books I've ever read.
I love Oathbringer too. I love the first 3.
Oathbringer's pretty great too.
Rhythm of War isn't
Book
the
4
greatest,
is tough.
but I enjoy parts of it.
It ends really well.
And look, we still have half a book, so I don't know. Maybe Brandon starts writing the second half, and he gave it to his junior writers for the first half of this. I don't know yet. I would still like. I still think it's worth reading.
I don't.
But I'm so like. This is killing me.
E-Man, let me ask you a question.
I'm not excited for part 2 though.
I'm not
excited
much
for 6 through 8.
Do you value your time? Because what I will always say about the Stormlight Archives is, there are excellent portions.
Mm-hmm.
There are excellent chapters. The question is, how tolerant are you of everything else? And then what is the ratio of good to shit in a book?
Did you enjoy the slog in the Wheel of Time?
Well, I was actually going to say, this actually seriously reminds me of Crossroads of Twilight.
Yeah.
In the sense that, Crossroads of Twilight was, Perrin lamenting about, his deep emotional conflicts, and then the girls, doing like not really super interesting stuff. And I mean, tell me that's not what Wind and Truth is.
Yep.
Don't mention Cora around here, okay? Okay, Cora's like Don't mention no Korra. Korra is a bad word here. No Korra, please. I just. Oh,
she was
thanks,
a lesbian.
Mark.
She was a lesbian the whole time.
Yeah, well,
Despite
she was just waiting
having a crush on like
was just
10
waiting
different
to steal
boys
that-
throughout the whole series.
Yeah, she was just waiting to steal the hot chick with the machines the whole time. Fooled you.
We definitely didn't just shoehorn it in at the end because we wanted points.
No, definitely not. Shut up. Don't want to hear that. She killed all the avatars. What a bitch. Okay, sorry. Moving on. She literally lost. She literally is the worst avatar because
she's
she
really
lost.
bad.
She's the only avatar to die. She killed all the other avatar spirits. Fuck Korra.
And she's not even good at that bending sport. Whatever. What was it called?
Oh god.
Pro bending. That's what it was. It was a really bad name. It was just called Pro Bending.
I wish Toph just punched her in the face. It would have been so much better. I'm trying to think what chapters like so. Oh god. Oh my god. I'm sad. I am so sad.
It's really deflating.
It is wild watching somebody lose their fastball like this.
I mean, look, it's also similar to book 4. You know, like book 4, I wasn't this pissed off. I was sad for a lot of book 4, but it ended really well, and so I'm like, I think it was worth it.
No, I agree.
I wish it had been better. There's lots of things I would have changed, but I still enjoyed reading that book.
I agree.
Did you enjoy reading it, or did you enjoy the end?
I enjoyed the end.
I'm glad I read the book. Yes.
Okay.
Once
there were things that infuriated me.
So my question is, at this point, if you are reading a book by somebody who has shown these problems, these inconsistencies, these, I hate to say it, moral failings, but
no, it's true.
These problems as a writer, are they able to bail themselves out? And then let's say hypothetically that, he doesn't actually believe this shit, and he's just sort of posturing for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. But he said it. He said he does. But
yeah. So I mean, let's say that he actually doesn't believe this shit, and that he's just saying it to make people happy.
He's saying it because it's popular, right?
I mean, that basically makes him a moral coward.
Yeah, it does. And Brandon Sanderson is my idol. I am a Brandon Sanderson simp. And you are correct. And it's very sad.
How easy is it to make anti-investiture? Because now we have crossbow bolts.
You make it with music.
So it's just going to be an unending resource.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's probably really dangerous to make. If you don't do it right, you could blow up too. So we're not going to see it everywhere, but we're going to see a lot.
It doesn't seem like it. Moraes is just shooting. He's got daggers with anti-investiture. He's got crossbow bolts with anti-investiture. It's just everywhere.
What I think is amazing is, you guys, I mean, we're talking about 8 or 10 chapters here, since the last time we did a stream.
That completely 180'd me and Aldan, yeah.
Well, I mean, do we even care about anything that happened in 6 of the 10 chapters?
No.
What indeed? This what we're talking about right now?
Yeah, in this segment.
I don't care. There's one section I cared about. That's it.
I liked when Shallan got shot and how she
it
expelled her void light and her armor. I thought that was fun.
If we had more of that, and then stuff, fine. But the Caligan,
and then seeing her like oh, I can't even breathe in the Stormlight to heal because it's still inside me. It was fun to see. It would, and not because I'm a sadist. It was fun. It wasn't fun to see her. Actually, it was a little bit fun to see her get a little bit of her just desserts, right? But it was smart, right? And it was a fun like predicament of like, oh, I have the power to heal myself and I can't do it.
So
you know what this book is
why
like?
haven't we like I don't so sorry if we know so here's my biggest issue, right? Like with like so I get what you're saying, but if we have all these questions about what anti-investiture does with certain properties, shouldn't we be testing these things?
Yeah.
Shouldn't Shallan be throwing an anti-investiture chip into her bracer to see if it explodes her bracer or if the bracer blocks it? Because she can, oh, well, you lose one Shallan creation sprint. Who cares? There's a million of them, right? I mean, who cares if you like it? So, like, shouldn't we be testing these things? Testing what can be made safe? Can a spren like in a shard form block it? Like you haven't done anything. You invented it, like Navani made it, and now it's like, well, it's in the world. We have, and we're just testing it in live fire exercises. Like, isn't that a little bit like? I would love to know what anti-investiture can and can't do, or is it just gonna anytime it hits Stormlight, it's gonna explode? Because I just drop a bunch of that shit right on top of freaking Urithiru and win.
One would think.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, where's it stop? Like, I don't know. Right. So, like, that's and it's like we're in the state of the world right now. I'm like, so we're coming to the end of day 2. Adolin, I guess, is going towards Azir. There's still 1,000 fused marching on Urithiru, and now Dalinar's gone. The tower defenses are gone. Oh, the Mink is, wasting Windrunners up in Herdaz.
I don't know.
It's like the state of the world. It's like I'm and your two best guys are in Shinovar having brunch and having freaking stew. Right? It's just like we forgot. Like there's so much stuff that should be going on, and we're not seeing any of it. We got to see a stone ward plop in the roof.
We've gotten a third of the book.
Yay!
I don't think I think we've gotten 20% of the book. I think it's going to be 150 chapters.
It's supposed to be 1/3 when it's done.
In 2 weeks, we'll have had a third of the book.
It's supposed to be 1/3 by the time it releases. Is what he said.
Crazy. Nothing has happened.
Well, Dalinar's gone. Apparently, that we have I think
we're a third of the way through the book, and we still know nothing about Shinovar. Like this was supposed to be setting that up the whole time.
What?
And can we talk about the world building in Shinovar, like compared to like the Alethi world building,
Please.
which I was super excited to get into, and all we've gotten are they can't step on rocks, and guess what? The world building that we got came from Hoyd in a Shallan chapter instead of in a Seth Kaladin chapter, where we finally got a teeny tidbit of why are rocks so sacred to them? Oh, it's because they're alien rocks, and so they conflated power with rock. So there's nothing special about rocks. It's just a misguided belief. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but the rest of their whole culture is, hey, we're not allowed to touch rocks, and also we can have a splash. We can have one piece of color.
Like, are we at Applebee's and you can wear a special pin? Like,
yeah, no. I'm literally thinking of every time I read it, I think of Office Space.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Is you're not
pieces
wearing
of flare.
Pieces
of flare. Yeah. The face. That's what the Facebook thing was too.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about every time. It's like, oh, he's got 2 pieces of flash. It's like.
Okay,
so he's the #1 server at Applebee's.
He's got Splash.
My lovely wife is correct. There's too many magic rocks.
Too many rocks.
Well, it's just just like the chapter of like it's like I guess we're like I don't know. Are we leading up to something with is Zeth going to turn his parents in for being rock movers?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
He rats out his parents. He does a communism, and gets rewarded for it. And then I mean I guess the good part of that story is he eventually finds out that it was all a lie.
Well, not necessarily. The thing he got the reason.
Well, he knows it's a lie now.
Maybe not now. Well, no, he knows that they're full of shit. Not that the rocks are bad.
Right,
he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
He knows that
I meant the ideology that would force him to turn in his parents.
Gotcha.
Is a lie. Yes.
Right. But it's just like
That's a communism thing. Sorry, I just finished reading The Naked Communist by Cleon Skousen.
What chapter was it?
Can't recommend it enough. It'll answer all of your questions about society.
Which chapter was like the fucking lift chapter that would not end?
That was 29, and I want to bring that up because there was actually a funny part. A little bit of it might make you laugh. It made me laugh, and then it made me feel sick. So 29 is when she just keeps looking at people's butts, right? And it's she's like, oh look, I want to that guy's got a nice butt. I want to slap that butt. That guy and his husband, I like both their butts together. I want to see their butts smush. And then she starts talking about butts to a little kid.
Yeah. She's
talking about looking at butts
to Gavinor.
To Gavinor. And so, like, this is already, like, the horniest chapter, and in my mind, I'm thinking, she's a 10-year-old, this is really creepy. And then Dalinar and Navani show up, and Gavilar asks them, hey, can I come with you? I thought we were going to do sword fights, and he says, oh, sorry, we have to do something else. And then the best line, did you guys read this, or did you listen to it?
I listened to it.
Okay, I listened to it. The best line was... It's been so horny, so I've already got like my dirty mind turned on, right? And they say, "So sorry, Gav, no sword fighting today. You can come and lift with us. Spend a little time together. Come on." And I'm like, okay, I know that's not what he's saying. Let's all come and lift. She's already horny.
My first question is, why the hell would you leave young Gavinor with Lift?
Right? Did she kidnap him?
Why is young Gav anywhere near Lift?
Let's all take turns with the underage Lift.
There is not a person I would want my kid further away from than Lift in that tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Toral Sadius babysitting Gavinor. At least he'd be getting sword fighting training.
Well,
and learning how to do politics.
The question is it would you prefer Lift or Dre grooming your kid?
Dre,
Jesus Christ! Like that whole thing. That I still
like which one is worse, right?
I'll bring it
it's
up.
Like
I can't
is it Lift?
it.
Is it Lift talking to Gav about butts, or is
These
it Dre
are chapters in my
directly
Stormlight book.
grooming Renarin?
Like what? Like these are This is a full chapter.
It is wild how bad that was.
Hey, tower, so she can just talk to the tower, and they have some weird ass conversation.
Dude, what happened to the tower? Like, of all the characters that have gotten cucked in this book.
Oh, and we didn't even talk about that farting.
May have gotten the worst.
They start talking about... okay, so I'll be honest, I skipped the rest of the chapter when the tower started talking about farts. I was like, I'm done. I can't do it. So I don't know what happened after the fart talk. Where is it?
I don't remember.
I stopped because Lift is now saying shit in front of Gavinor, and checking out people's butts, and
it is.
Oh, and everybody, I'm so tired of secret handshakes. I am so tired of I'm so tired of secret handshakes. This isn't just a Wind and Truth thing. I'm so tired of everything. Oh, you got to be cool. Have a secret handshake.
And these chapters are 30 minutes long each, and yet the Seth flashbacks are 3 minutes.
It is wild to me how different this shit is. Like, if you just read Way of Kings and skipped directly to this book, you would assume you were reading bad fan fiction.
Yeah.
It is that different from a prose standpoint, from an atmosphere and environment standpoint.
All the clever world building is gone. You guys mentioned last time the basements, right? She doesn't even have a word for basement. They should be using, a subterranean room, right? And then she in one sentence she talks about being introduced to the concept of basements and then not understanding the concept of basements in the next sentence, like it wasn't just explained, right? She brings it up as an example, and then in the next sentence she doesn't understand why a basement should exist. And you're like, but you're the one who just brought it up as an example, explaining something else, and then having words like shit in it, which
it's like she says shit 10 times.
Here's the thing,
look, a term I've heard girls say, something about words and shit.
Right. But swear words have never existed in Brandon Sanderson books. He stole the idea from Robert Jordan and made it his own. He's infamous for coming up with his own in-world swear words.
Yeah.
At least people are talking about it.
Yeah. It's weird.
I didn't see all the comments.
Well, it's like you broke it down yesterday, right? Will, you said what? How many of the POV chapters are Shalon?
Let's see.
In this book or the whole series?
In our Zeth book. No, just our Zeth book. I know Shalon's catching up fast to Kaladin.
Because the last posts I saw, it was you guys were analyzing the entire series, and you realized that Shalon throughout the whole series
Shalon's catching up, but it's still Kaladin. But
no, she had more. She had less chapters, but more word count.
That was only in book 2.
This book 2. Okay, so I don't know the numbers for this one.
But yeah, Shalon is at the moment going to catch Kaladin in POV chapters.
In this book?
Yeah, in this book. She's going. No,
I thought she was already ahead. In this whole series.
She's way ahead in this book. If this book continues as it's going, she's going to catch him for the entire series.
Yeah.
So are we talking about? Is she talking about Mraize's bird?
Yes, this stupid fucking bird.
If the bird's in the tower, how can she not find it? She is the tower.
Maybe it's because it's not in the tower.
Because I think this is a hint that they kidnapped Vasher and the bird.
Because Vasher's been missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what this is.
And she learned the word shit from Vasher.
Why would Vasher's not walking around saying shit on fucking in Warbreaker?
No, he's not. He's saying colors.
Yeah, colors. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sam 8005 bucks. This book does not need to be the same length as War and Peace. Please, God, no. At this point,
dude, this book should be what? With what we've covered so far, 9 chapters.
The best swear of all time is the Dark One's taint. So
yeah, that's true. He's married, Yeah, she said.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Farther to the side. His husband's hot too. Seems unfair. You're hot. You can fly, and you have a hot husband. Windrunner's window. I'm telling you, something's up with them. I ain't
she's
never
talking
seen
to
one
a
of them
4-year-old
run into a wall. Not even a small wall.
She's talking to her friend, but I mean, it's just.
But
what
he's there.
Is this? Yeah, he's there. I mean, he's overhearing them talk, but it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, was it really worth blowing up Bridge 4 so that Lift can say shit? Like,
Bridge 4 is like, we got a mention of Bridge 4 in here somewhere. What's up, Aldan? The link's in the thing if you want to hop in, man. It's your call. But there's a mention of Bridge 4 like having Stu, and I'm like, what do you mean? Bridge 4 is dead. Like, there is no Bridge 4. Bridge 4,
Yeah.
you have made sure that we have no attachment to Bridge 4 anymore at all. I have zero, like, for one of the greatest things to come from Way of Kings and to just travel throughout the series, Bridge 4, I have no attachment to the remnants of Bridge 4 anymore. Yeah. I don't care about. Kaladin's abandoned Bridge 4. Rock is abandoned Bridge 4. Teft is dead.
Moash has
abandoned Bridge 4.
There's
Scar
Sigzil
is just the trainer that doesn't want to take any lead.
Sigzil
is still there, but doesn't want to lead.
There's Scar, Sigzil, and 2 gay boys.
So Sigzil is trying to deny taking, doesn't want to take command, but is forced into it. Scar doesn't want to take command because he likes being a trainer. Drahe is gay and likes his husband. And who's the other one I'm missing? Renarin's not a windrunner, and he wants wants Relane's penis.
Speaking of which,
like, why do I have any trench? Sorry, go ahead, Will.
What happened to Sigzil? Like, I was listening to Way of Kings recently. So Sigzil being a world teller,
world singer, yeah,
that's fucking gone. Sigzil being an embittered.
I was looking forward to Wit and Sigzil actually, I don't know, having some interesting conversations.
Yeah, that dude is fucking.
Salty was just here.
Yeah, he was in the chat earlier.
Yeah. Yep, he's still alive. I know he's weathering that storm.
Yeah, he was here in the chat.
Yeah.
What's up, by the way? But I just so Bridge 4 is dead. This whole chapter is Lift being very inappropriate in front of a 5-year-old boy who is just getting more confused.
So weird. It's so creepy.
I don't know why we're doing this thing where Gav doesn't think his grandparents love him because I don't know. They're saving the world.
I was gonna say, sorry, dude. For 8 days, you can deal with it.
It's like, hey, can somebody sit Gavinor down and say, look, Gavinor, I know you're young. You're 5. You're not an idiot, okay? Your grandpa has 8 days to figure out how to literally save the world. So when he saves the world, you can sword fight with him after or somebody else. But you're going to have to let him, like, do his job and save literally the world. Is that okay, Gavinor? No.
This chapter was so horny too. I hear sword fighting, and I think it's something else.
Oh God. Well, it's the next chapter when Drahe goes down and tells Renarin that he should go after that D. Right? Is that?
I could not get over this chapter.
We go right into it. The next chapter is like, hey, if you feel it, go touch it. It's like, what?
I mean, can we say that 10 of the 10 horniest chapters of the Stormlight Archives are in this book?
There haven't been horny chapters until now,
dude.
Last book there was a couple with Shallan and
Shallan and Adolin have barely kissed, and they're married. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, there was a sexy chapter with Dalinar and Navani too.
That was it. That was like way when they first hooked up. That was like in Words of Radiance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When she was like trying to get him to stop being a prude.
Yes.
So is that what we're doing?
I'm not disagreeing with the point being made. Yeah, I'm just saying there were like 2 chapters before this book.
So is this Renarin being like his dad? He's too much of a prude to go tell Relane that he wants to make gay loving to him. Like, is that what we're doing?
even like the logic is it's really gross. Like Drahe's like he's being manipulative. He's literally grooming this kid, but the logic that he uses is, look, I'm not pressuring you. You don't have to tell your dad you're gay if you don't want to. I've seen some people do it, and they died of depression because they weren't living their true selves. So, I mean, go ahead, try that if you want, or go chase down that soy boy.
What you're right. Hey, meeting's on break. Your aunt asked me to bring you a report. Thank you, Renarin says. Of course, blah 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 blah. Dre delivered a quick Apple report. Yeah, because who really gives a shit about the report? Let's keep looking at Orlane's ass. Gliss says pay attention because you're an idiot.
I get used. I'm used to spotting people looking at other men.
After the report, Drahe lingered, and Renarin started to sweat more in his jacket. This was the part of the conversation he'd always had trouble with. He already said, "Thank you. Should be small talk." Blah 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 blah. Renarin was a whatever. So Drahe's settling back against one of the stone workstations that were scattered throughout the fields. Want to talk about it? Renarin's panic grew. What was it supposed to be? I do not know, Gliss said, because Gliss is confused and is a fucking spren. The way you look at Relane's ass, Drahe said, I added ass, said in response to Renarin's apparent confusion. Oh, that, Renarin said, hiding his giant erection. It was an embarrassing topic.
Mongo's appalled!
but at least now he knew the topic was. Is it obvious? I know my penis is sticking straight up. Is it that obvious? You learn to watch the guys who watch other guys, Drahe said. I don't want to pry. It's nobody's business. Just wanted to know I'm here in case you want to get a sport fuck in before you try and go fuck Relane. It's silly, Relane said, glancing down. He's not even human, so he doesn't have a fucking chill for a vagina. I say it's better to think of everyone as people. Human listeners, friend, all people have holes to fill. Even if some of them glow and are annoying.
He's not even human. Even better.
It is wild.
Like, what is happening?
Bad this is.
Look, you're adding color, you're adding words in there. But like that's the whole point of this chapter is you're supposed to read between the lines. The entire chapter is a metaphor. It's the chapter is called Not Alone. And it ends with him saying, "Oh, I'm so glad I'm no longer alone, and I finally found a gay guy like me."
Appearing between them. She always looking at fluttering. Blah blah blah. I'm not annoying. I'm habitually right. Oh, and then we do the fucking National Treasure thing where they're arguing about his friend being always right and his blah blah blah. Being right can be annoying. It's like, okay, I've seen National Treasure. Thank you very much.
You are normal. Or rather, nobody is normal. Normal doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Normal
Renarin
exists.
let himself smile hesitant. Drahe, like the other members of Bridgeport, treated him as one of them, awkward or not. To them, he was, well, a person. I don't know what to do, Renarin said, about Relane, about any of this. Aunt Navani won't be happy because she wants me to fuck girls and have babies.
Because you're the heir to a kingdom,
because
dude.
You're next in line for the
Not
throne,
up.
you wanker, and she likes people to be normal. You are normal, Drahe said, or rather, nobody is normal. Normal doesn't exist. So if we slavishly try to dress ourselves to imitate it, all we're really doing is becoming different, kind of abnormal, a miserable kind that doesn't get to fuck Relane. So get that penis out. Relane looked down at his hard on. What do you want, Renarin? Drahe asked. It's obvious from your fucking giant erection. Not what your aunt or your father wants or anyone else. What do you want? Maybe what I want is to ride Relane real hard in this garden. Is for my aunt and my father to be happy. It's like what?
Trust me, Renarin. That boat has sailed a long.
Look, this is where it gets. This is where it gets really groomy. He's saying, "Look, I want to make my parents proud," and Dre says, "But don't you want to make yourself proud instead?" He's literally pressuring him into this.
What if
if you want to make them happy, no, you should make yourself happy. It's all about instant gratification, okay?
Well, here, what? So he asked, Renarin said, what if he prefers women? Renarin nodded. Well, there's room for women. You just have a threesome. You move.
About to have. My husband and I are about to have one with Lyft.
Yeah, you invite the girl, and then you just slip him one. It's like this is the Stormlight Archive. What is happening?
It is wild.
Like I'm not. This is like, guys. Like I'm sure none of you have read this, but this is on the page.
Did he let Rafe Judkins write a chapter?
Maybe.
It's so weird. Like, this is a whole chapter. And the chapter before this was Lift doing the same thing. Right? What is going on?
Yeah, okay. Down here it gets worse too. Like, you can do this. You can be gay. Go ahead, do it.
Oh shit! Hold on. Where? Hold on. Dre looked deep breath, but he didn't come to the. It's silly. Renard said, "Listeners don't even court like we do, but often bond two people for life. They do it differently, but." What did I say earlier? There's no such thing as normal. Everyone's got to figure out themselves, Dre. He said, I'll tell you this though.
Do you know how we know that there's things. Do you know how we know that normal exists? Normal absolutely exists, okay? Because procreation can only happen one way. That's normal.
I'll tell you this though.
Okay? Now you can make a moral argument about whether it's right or wrong, but you have to admit that it is an abnormality.
No, I said erection, Zax. If I said election, I meant to say erection. Because Renarin is walking around with the freaking pole in his pants. Fuck. This is in Stormlight Archive.
I'm actually questioning now.
It's
what
one
is
paragraph
the canonical relationship standard for the Parshendi?
I don't know.
Well, it's like Relaine said a few things at Stu one night that made me think he was a gay. About being a mate for him was being hugely embarrassed because, he didn't want to mate with the girly girl Parshendis because they, if I recall, isn't mate form supposed to be for like making babies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So of course, Relaine's the only one that doesn't like that.
And if you take it a step further, it is very apparent when Sanderson is talking about in the first book how the Parshendi always fight in pairs, and how one of them tended to have a beard and one did not.
Yeah.
What he was trying to imply here. I mean, did Relaine get kicked out of the Parshendi for being gay? Like, is that what happened?
You're a spy because you won't mate. You Relaine. I think it's gonna turn out all right because I have Gaydar Renarin, and it was going off that stew night. In fact, I almost cheated on my husband with him because it was going off crazy. And then Renarin says, "I can't. I really, really can't." Drehy moved as if to pat Renarin on the penis. He paused, though, then gave Renarin a little poke in the butthole. Bless him. He listened. He knew that Renarin liked to be touched in the butthole. Though Renarin would have been fine if that was the case. He liked some physical contact in the butthole. He just didn't like being surprised. So he liked knowing that people were putting their finger in his butthole. The more important thing was that Drehy had listened and actually put his finger in his butthole the way Renarin liked it. So Renarin found himself smiling. It's fucking weird.
Okay, this is one of the worst parts, though. Okay.
Oh, is this the paragraph you're looking for?
You can do this, right? And this is Renarin saying,
"Go ahead.
I can't. I really, really can't come out of the closet. It will break my grandparents' heart, and also I have a civic duty as heir to the throne to make an heir to the throne. I can't do this." And this is where Dre gets really, really groomy. You can do this. You want to do it. Look at that Joel penis.
Vagina.
Look. You want it. You've always been gay this whole time, okay? Now, if you don't want to do it, that's all right. No one's going to judge you. I mean, I'm going to judge you. I'm clearly being very judgmental. But, You walked onto that battlefield and you were really brave when you went to battle, so you can be brave now and tell your parents about your sexuality. And I know you struggled and wrestled with a lot of men bringing messages to your father, and now you can carry a great load, my friend. You can carry my load. You've done it already. He smiled and then drew in Stormlight. Like I said, it's just one man's experience. Bridge 4 student. Oh, that's where Bridge 4 comes in.
The Bridge 4 student night that I don't care about because Bridge 4 is dead.
We were wondering where they mentioned Bridge 4, and that was here.
That's it. Yeah.
What's going on, Shy? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Shy? I didn't even see you. Sorry, I was talking to Easton. How are you?
That's so groomy.
What's that, Shy?
The first thing I heard from here when I joined was on the penis.
Well, there's a lot of that in a few of these chapters, man. I don't know how to avoid it.
He went to touch him, but then stopped because he listens.
No, I think he inserted and then listened. That's read it again, Zach. Okay.
But you got to do it. You got to do it in the AI Dungeon Crawler Carl voice.
Oh God!
It's me. I'll come hungry.
Oh my God! It's a whole chapter.
I was more than one chapter.
It's a whole chapter. Like, why? I don't understand. Meanwhile, in Shinovar, are Zeth and Kaladin cuddled up next to the stew pot? I don't care. It doesn't even. It's not a. I don't care that if Drehe's gay, fine. I don't care.
New achievement.
I really don't.
You're the reason Daddy drinks.
I don't. It's like, why are we spending this exorbitant amount of time on this when there's stuff going on?
When the world is ending in 8 days now.
Is it at all possible that the reason that Odium can't see anything to do with Renarin is that he's deeply
because he's a homophobe?
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Please stop it. Because because honestly, some of the vision thing,
they're turning the trolls gay.
Hey,
they're putting something in the water. It's turning the trolls gay.
Well, the other chapter where they're doing the little the vision quest or whatever the hell it was with the mirrors and stuff. It's like, okay, but
they're doing a vision quest up in Bohemian Grove. I've seen the videos. I've been there. I've taken videos. Okay, you're not gonna believe me.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? There's actually some, learning something about Truth Watchers a little bit, but we keep getting the awkward I'm sorry blush, and Relane's I'm sorry, did I offend? It's what? Huh? Just can we
Okay, but for real, the 11 people in the window are clearly Kaladin, Syl, and the 9 heralds, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was the 12 people. I figured it was they're on the green, so I figured Zeth was there too, right?
Yep. I'm sorry.
I stopped paying attention, and this was probably the chapter I should have paid attention to.
No, because there's some stuff here. There's some stuff here.
I was just so put off that and I was also driving at the time when that. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm going to have to go back and listen to this chapter again, aren't I?
Let me see here. I'm trying. So there's on the field of green, which is what they just came to, right? Rhythm of agony. So it's obviously, it's obvious that it's well, I shouldn't say it's obvious, but it should be Syl, Kaladin, Zeth, and the rest of the heralds, I'm assuming. Just because the green that they described is where Kaladin and here you go. The fourth window was strangely a bright field of green with distant figures standing on it. The grass didn't flee from them, So perhaps they've been standing there a long time. He counted 12. He looked to Renarin, who reached up and rested his hand beside the window. And I feel peace from this one. Who are they, do you suppose? So
Yeah, it's got to be.
I'm assuming it's
in the Nine Heralds.
I'm assuming. Well, how many heralds are left? Yezrian's dead.
Yeah, so there were 10 and now there's 9.
Heralds. There's like 8 heralds that still exist at this point.
Yeah, so if there's 12, then it's got to include Syl. Yeah.
Well, that would still be one less, I believe, because it's like,
Is it?
okay,
So,
Al, Zed, and
Shallan killed her herald mom, confirmed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
so there's only 8 heralds, meaning there's like only 11 figures if we include Syl. Which, by the way, I did read this and remember that
there's only a few heralds left. They've been coming for our heralds. You know, Henry Kissinger warned us. He who controls the heralds controls the people.
Yeah.
And who controls the people controls the energy in the whole continent.
I do remember they confirmed that Syl's getting a body because they describe one of them as having the paleness and all that shit.
Yeah, they describe her as a blue person.
The blue skin. Who are those humans with blue skin? And this one, Makabaki, and this one. Who are the humans with blue skin? So, those are the Natans. So we think the blue skin one is her.
Break down the whole. So the visions they were seeing, was it just heralds that they were seeing?
So that was the fourth one.
I had totally tuned out.
All right, so let's see here.
Because at first they're seeing the past, and then they're making their way to the future. And I remember them complaining. I thought you were supposed to take us to the future, and he's going, "We're gonna go back to the past, which is the future."
So they said they can't see the future. Only bondsmiths can see. The future.
Oh, this is where the best line was. Careful, these are lies. But sometimes I can see the future, and truth is just the lies that happen.
Yeah, dumb line. But no, they can't see the future. But
they see possibilities of the future.
One of the visions they see, they assume it's a past one, which I'm like, nope, that's not a past one.
So it's Dune.
Let's see here.
It's Dalinar with a gold person, which I assume means Dalinar's meeting Odium at some point. Because Odium's the one that typically shows gold.
Let's see here. Yeah, so tunnel. I'm trying to see. East for thunder. Why would there be a window depicting a storm? It had already happened. Relaine hummed in confusion. Let's see here. So something with the Everstorm. Trying to imitate. So Renarin's trying to hum. Sometimes the windows are just like this. The next depicted some type of clifftop overlook with Dalinar standing in front of a glowing gold figure. In the distance, a city was collapsing into a spreading pit. Though the image was static, he felt motion to it somehow, as if the city was constantly crumbling into a pit.
Now, wasn't there a Noadon vision that was something like that earlier?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
there was, but I'm pretty sure it's not they're not showing the same in that vision. I'm pretty sure it means Odium is going to see him again, and he's going to meet Taravangian.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Alethkar or Urithiru that's crumbling.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that part.
Or Kholinar is the city, Alethkar is the...
Yeah. They will, maybe. Let's see, the fourth. So we skipped so...
There's Renarin sitting on the throne in the singer garb.
Oh, was that the third one? Did I miss that?
I thought that was the first one.
It was the first.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't him actually wearing singer garb? They were seeing a picture of him wearing singer garb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was out of it.
Yeah. Because
Which does make me wonder, does Renarin betray them all?
No.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That would be like the perfect way to end this book for me to never read another Sanderson book. Is the singers win, and the singers then fight Odium.
Yeah.
The rhythm of agony. Okay.
I loved that Renarin is now humming the rhythms.
So that was. Are we? So how? So was that Mishram? Is that? Are we going with that?
I can't tell if you were being sarcastic. Did you love that, or was that irony that he was humming the rhythms?
It's just cringe at this point.
I didn't hate that.
Renarin is going to be the only human that can do the rhythms. That seems.
Well, Navani's been doing them already.
But she hasn't been humming them. She's been replicating them with.
Well, no, she did hum them at the end of Rhythm of War.
Oh, that's right, she did.
Yeah.
Still stupid.
So, this is where we get racist honor spren.
That was wild. I was.
That line, man.
What a quote, Brandon. What a quote.
Which one? What's the? Which one?
If you just control F, individual choices.
Yeah.
I think it might be a different chapter.
I'm pretty sure it's right out. I'm pretty sure they're talking about it right now. Here, but she did give him a notice. No,
that's left.
It's lift.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like the next.
It's the next section. Yeah, it's 31.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So
she's talking to Shallan, isn't it?
Granted, they do mention this. I think maybe even in Oathbringer that the Spren hold grudges.
Yeah.
That's why it's like R'hlllan just never kept getting a Spren forever.
Yeah, we talked about this on the Martian. Alan's Martian metaphor killed me. What is Sean? You had some strong thoughts about these last 8 or so chapters. What were your big takeaways here?
A lot of fucking useless bullshit. The only good parts of these past 2 chapters have been the Ghost Bloods, and I say good with some asterisks, but at least they seem to make somewhat intelligent decisions toward a goal they can somewhat make sense of. Not always. I sometimes don't make sense of what the fuck they're doing, but more than anything else right now.
What's the only thing that's happening?
Yeah.
Your choice is either nothing is happening or the Ghost Bloods are doing stupid shit.
Did you want that quote, Steve? I have it.
Oh, do you have it? I mean, yeah.
It's in 31.
Is it 31?
It was the
control. What am I control effing?
They're talking about the corrupted Spren, and R'hlllan says her Spren accepted me when none of the honest Spren would. That's unfair.
There it is.
Yeah.
Lots
of humans weren't chosen either, R'hlllan. It comes down to individual decisions, and yet those decisions of the individuals are racist.
Well, and what do they call her Spren? They call oh god, what did they call Mishram's Spren?
R'hlllan gets
enlightened
Spren. Call them corrupted.
Enlightened
Spren. Her Spren accepted me, R'hlllan said, when none of the other honor Spren. That's unfair. It comes down to individual decisions, and yet every single member of Bridge 4 now has an honor Spren except me. Curious how people's decisions are an individual matter when they're confronted about them, but those decisions form blatant patterns.
Seriously, replace the word people's with women's. And this is an incel. Like,
yeah, it is.
It's like whatever, man. I'm we're getting a lot of weird preachy, like it's just.
It's also just wrong, though. Aside from being preachy, it is wrong. The logic does not make sense.
Well, I'll say it.
The logic can make sense, but if you accept that logic, you have to accept that logic for other things, and it leads to some very dark places.
Well, it was like I said before we started, right? There's a lot of that in here, right? There is, but I still take a lot of the biggest problems I have with these chapters are the last 2.
Okay. Apply the same
what the hell
logic.
happens with the freaking perpendicularity in Marae's?
Why do black people like watermelon? How come individually they
watermelon's
keep choosing
delicious.
watermelon? It forms a blatant pattern.
Yep.
Watermelon's delicious.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I mean,
shut up. I love watermelon.
I mean,
Just
I'm a pomegranate guy.
A what?
Pomegranate.
Pomegranates are delicious too.
okay, pomegranate is delicious. I hate eating pomegranates though. Like the seed you're left with, just give me pomegranate juice.
That's good
there
too.
you go.
I like the
dig it.
seed for some reason.
Do you swallow them?
Yes.
What do you lift? Why are you asking?
Oh,
Gay. You swallow seed.
what do you lift?
What a
But
gay
the problem
boy.
is you have several characters to choose from. This is it could have been Lift or Relate or Drehy or Renarin. Which one of them are you? This selection of chapters. I just like there's like what probably 4 full chapters of that, and then we get Maraise and more Shalon, and then just the perpendicularity blow up thing and the complete failure of the hey, look at that.
Ooh, look at that.
Adorable.
It's the new one.
It's living proof that I'm not gay.
I do absolutely love that.
Okay, Renarin.
We had 2 different conclusions to
That's a cute
to
little
a
baby.
He's cross-eyed.
character arc, and both conclusions to the arc were lame. Like, Shalon going into the hideout with all of the Ghost Bloods escaping was lame. And then her catching back up with them only to blow up the perpendicularity was also incredibly disappointing.
Well, it was her fault.
Yep.
Well,
Because
and
she's dumb.
those 2 idiot
But she
Bridge
brought the
4 guys.
guards. She brought the guards without even thinking about it. And then the Windrunner's just like, protect? I must go. It's like I'm so tired of that. It's just like
Let's just leave 3, assassins.
Well, and weren't those 2
you know,
Windrunners in on the raid? So they know exactly those are their
Yes.
targets from the raid.
Yeah.
So it's
they're not even they haven't even put their handcuffs on yet, right? They've just tackled him to the ground, and so they hit him with a taser. They hit him with a taser.
Fucking blowgun
This is
out.
literally the equivalent. They hit him with a taser and then walked away to go check on another police officer who was downed before putting them in handcuffs.
Go ahead. Sorry.
We talked about how there seems to be a blatant thing in this book that the Windrunners seem to have been flanderized massively.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Almost memeable levels.
Go.
It seems like they are the meme that they keep being portrayed as. That's
exactly what I said. I said I am tired of the Windrunners being depicted as idiots and just blunt instruments that can't think. I'm so freaking over it.
Because I think even Cal kind of represents this. He's not treated the same way as the other Windrunners, but I think the way he is treated, the Windrunner aspect of him has been dropped.
He's not a Windrunner anymore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't treat him like a Windrunner. It's like I was saying about Bridge 4. Why are you mentioning Bridge 4? Bridge 4 is gone. There is no Bridge 4. It's like I have no Sigzil doesn't want to be a leader. Scar is busy being a trainer. Drehy is doing whatever he's doing. Rock has gone back to the mountains. Kaladin's retired and doesn't want to be a rune runner anymore. What's his face is a bad guy now. Teft is dead. I have no attachment. So why mention Bridge 4 when Bridge 4 is gone?
I absolutely love that Kaladin's character development at this point is like if Perrin had been forced to choose between the hammer and the axe and decided both of those are lame.
Use a frying pan.
I'm going to be a passive messenger for the rest of the series. He's functionally the choice that Kaladin has made here.
Yeah. And I just remembered those Windrunners also. We got a little detailed in wearing the red armband as an oath of vengeance. It's like, are we not going to talk about how that might be contradictory to how their oaths are? How are you already able to do this?
Yeah, we're gonna hunt down and get vengeance for our fallen comrade. therefore protecting air.
They're almost antithetical to what their own.
That's exactly but it's exactly what our fallen comrade, who is now on the evil side, did with the king.
Well,
very close.
I mean, at this point, make the fucking contradictory Windrunners the main character. At least they want to go do something interesting.
Yeah,
it was interesting, and it's why it's like, why are you mentioning a detail that doesn't seem to fit, and then not going any further into it?
Yeah. Well, and it's like it's a little thing. It's like I don't know if you talk, the interesting part, one of the few interesting part is Zeth and Kaladin going towards the church, and then just Kaladin doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, tell me your feelings. We're gonna make stew so we can talk some more. It's like it's literally, I'm sorry, Aldan, King Kaladin the Wise is dead. It's psychiatrist Kaladin. That's what we got.
Have you guys been reading the prefaces of each chapter?
Like the Way of Kings excerpts?
Kinda, yeah.
I don't like that we switched back to Way of Kings from Wind and Truth, though.
I'm not a fan of the change either, but it's also the Way of Kings ones have been kind of weird. This one, they've been all about how this king, whoever wrote the book, doesn't seem to actually want to be king, and it's talk about the benefits of leaving. And I was like, why are you giving these particular excerpts? They, one, don't sound like something that would have been in this book that Dalinar worshipped. And two, why do I feel like this is trying to imply something massive?
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't been paying. I've been listening to them. I haven't been paying much attention to them.
Oh my goodness!
They're just basically being read, and that's it.
I figured it out. It's all about the loophole, right? If you get the capitals, you get the whole cities, unless you give up your kingdom and turn it into a democracy, and then taking the capital won't give you the rest of the kingdom.
I would love to discount the fact that idea, but I don't think I can.
They're gonna loophole the loophole.
What?
Well, that's not something I would
give it back to the Senate. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
And then Lucius can get captured on a slaver boat for some reason, and there's a new Caesar, and the guy from Training Day is trying to be. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Gladiator 2. My bad.
Is anyone watching that this week?
I'm gonna go Thursday because I fucking want to hate rage all over it. That movie should not exist. It's a fucking shitburger. Fuck that. I
want to see it real bad. I don't think I'm gonna like it, but I think I'm gonna wait till Tuesday next week.
It's gonna be horrible. The moment I found out Lucius was the main character, I'm like, well, fuck Maximus. I guess he died for nothing.
Fun.
I can't. It's gonna be terrible. But what was I gonna say? Do you guys? I also we're definitely starting to see, at least in my opinion, the problem with having 18,000 POV characters for this section. A bunch of POVs we just don't need or want. I feel like I don't know.
And
if you
yet
guys are feeling
we
that
still
or not.
somehow have managed to have 100 Shallan POVs.
Oh man, what? So Shai wasn't here. What's Moraes' plan, Shai? Because I can't figure it out.
Honestly, I can't figure it out either.
Okay.
They pretty much have completely divorced any motivation connecting with Kelsier in the book. They're like, yeah, we're going to do our own thing. So I'm like,
so forget about Kelsier. What does Moraes want?
We don't know.
He wants to blow up the perpendicularity, apparently.
Yeah, that one I'm like, okay, if you want to find Ba-Ado Mishram, you just did the most stupid thing you could possibly do, because now both bondsmiths, both ways who could potentially enter the spiritual realm, as far as we know, have just been fucked. You just trapped them in the spiritual realm, and you have no idea if they're getting out anytime.
Will said the popular theory now is that they're all trapped in there, and it just sucked them all into the spiritual realm.
Yeah,
if that's the case, how the fuck did you know that would happen? What the hell do you mean?
And it makes that was my point. Also, besides
so-
that, it makes no sense because they were in Shadesmar. It wouldn't. You'd be stuck in Shadesmar, not the spiritual realm.
Well, I mean, this is what he's been doing with Moraes' character for so long. So long as we don't know really anything about Moraes,
then he doesn't have to make a
Moraes
choice.
knows or doesn't know is fine. There's no limitations on it.
But this has been the book that he should. This is the thing. This is the book where that's no longer what he can do because he has to make that motivation clear because he's making their motivations somehow connected to the end of the world.
I really just want Kelsier to get on her shard and just take over. That's where I'm at.
I mean, what?
I feel like he's trying to turn Moraes into like Littlefinger, where like he's intentionally contradictory, but you're like, but also like that was the least satisfying part of that character, is when he started contradicting himself and we didn't know what he wanted.
I feel like he's turned Moraes into fucking Team Rocket. Has Moraes won yet? Like, all Moraes does is lose. Like,
Well, apparently he was happy he lost to Shalon this time because, she's his student.
Speaking of, so Moraes' plan distinctly involved Shalon being retarded.
Yes.
Like, it very specifically relied on Shalon grabbing the guards that were just kind of hanging out near there.
Just grabbing 3 particular guards to go to the secret room that just happened to be where they were doing the secret, perpendicularity dance. Wow, that's not convenient. Wow. It's like, what happened to Moraes' plan if the, I don't know, the Windrunners, flew there? Like, they have Tower Light. Why didn't you just fly there since, you sort of have an important message to give Dalinar before he fucks off into the spirit realm? Maybe fly? Is Kaladin the only one that realizes Tower Light is just ultimate? It just doesn't go away, and you can fly around the tower. He's the only one. Like, why aren't Windrunners flying all over the damn place? It's just baffling. It's just so weird.
It is absolutely insane, and I probably need to get over this. And I know we've talked about it already, but we're a third of the way through this book, and Kaladin has said goodbye to people and flown to Shinovar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been the most inefficient book I've seen ever come out of this man.
I'm so sad. I'm just sad.
Literally at this point, it is Brandon Sanderson and some very esoteric Russians for the slowest glacial pacing of a novel ever. Like, this book is in no way justifies its length. It's not even close.
Well, it's at the point where it's like you just go to the next chapter and it's Shalon, and it's like no. Like, and I don't nearly have as the same. I know you hate the Shalon. I like some of the Shalon stuff is fine for me, but it's just like I'm at the point. It's like no,
right.
And we're getting half chapters of the guys of the stuff that should be half chapters. It's not even a full chapter of Kaladin. It's a half a chapter.
Of the very important world building that we still need to get.
By the way,
and all of that has to be wrapped up in this book so that we can end with the Contest of Champions too.
I mean, we got Ishar's got his honor blade, so
there is an antagonist we still haven't even seen a glimpse of in this book. That was like, we ended on them in the last book, so I thought he would have, some part to play.
We got a quarter chapter from Taravangian.
No, not Taravangian. I'm talking that fucking Stinger that was having removed his carapace or replaced it with metal. I think we keep forgetting it because he was only one chapter, but I keep waiting for him to show up.
Well, we don't know what's going on with any of the singers except they're marching. There's a freaking 1,000 fused marching. Like, we haven't got any of that.
Do you remember when Rab O'Neill was brought in? She had so much more presence and even odium for that whole book, and yet we can't even get this one other singer in yet, despite it being the ending.
Oh,
But-
and we still have that group of rogue singers that are like off in the
Yeah,
mountains next
where's
to
Ven-
Rhaenyra.
where's
I have-
all Venley's singers at?
They
you know,
haven't
yeah.
brought that up, despite them being part of the Shattered Place.
It's the
you know.
only will shaper we have.
Yeah, because all the
We have no other will shaper.
Yeah,
It's.
I mean,
Go ahead. Sorry.
it seems crazy to me that we need somebody to come in and Brandon Sanderson series. Like, we need somebody to come in and just start cutting off subplots, removing character lines that are no longer needed.
I swear to God, if we get a Mink chapter before we get another Chaladin chapter, I'm gonna fucking I could bash something. Like, that could be it. Because I already we're gonna get this stupid Mink chapter where he takes Herdaz, is like, aha, I have Herdaz now, and it's gonna be like,
I conquered Herdez with 2 men and a paperclip, and it's going to be completely unjustified. And
I did want to bring this up because I knew this would be the case, and I made sure to confirm this, and the wiki confirms it. So Else Callers and Will Shapers, the ability that lets them go to Shadesmar is an ability that lets them go to the spiritual realm if they wanted. Something the Ghostbloods, who are very Cosmere aware and should know some of this shit, should probably know and make use of rather than depending on a bondsmith.
so Yasna can go to the spiritual realm.
Yes.
So-
It's difficult, but the Ghostbloods should be the ones to notice. They are the ones to know about how investiture works.
I just, like, is it just me, or, like, and we talked about it a little bit, Dalinar taking Navani is the stupidest decision ever, yes?
Nonsense.
had to justify Navani being in this book somehow.
It's literally just have her be the one who's leading your Irithiru while Dalinar is away.
Yeah,
You could
have her
that.
take charge. Start, arming the fucking tower and shit. Like, she could, right? I mean,
or
is
maybe continue her plot from book 4, which is the one thing that we said that the people need to be doing is experimenting with anti-void light.
yes. Yeah,
Yes.
we discovered it. It's loose on the world, but we have no idea the effects on certain things like shard plate or shard weapons or anything.
She invented it and then
side character
washed
and
her
background
hands.
character be a side character and background character. I
Maraise
read
has
one
done
more-
more experimenting with anti-void light than its inventor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Despite the fact it is the most useful thing they have right now, we see that even
I hate
just
it.
having like the anti-light near its opposite fucks with just their like illusions. Imagine what the hell that would do to their lashings and stuff. It's their
Right.
counter.
I hate it. I wish anti-void. I wish it never. I wish it wasn't a thing. I hate it.
Look, I'm
I
not
like
a
it.
fan of its creation either, but I would have been fine with it if they at least made good on what it is.
Right.
Made
Well, that's
good on
true
the
because there's no rules to it now, other than it fucks up all Stormlight stuff. It
Yeah.
explodes. If it touches Stormlight stuff, it explodes.
I
Like-
wanted to make good use of the thing they invented because that was like the one thing keeping me from hating it. Is like
Right.
at least show me you had a reason for creating it, but they've
Yeah.
ignored it and only had the Ghostbloods use it so far. It's like why? This is the most important thing you've ever added.
Yeah. Navani invents it. The Ghostbloods are using it. Great job, Navani. Like,
15 fucking boring ass chapters of Navani doing the fucking science fair. And
Well, we also know that the singers have it too.
Why the fuck don't we ever actually see
The-
this in Lost Metal? Out of
The
thing?
Voidbringers are probably experimenting with it off screen.
well, I just want to know what keeps anybody from just throwing it into your Theru and just exploding your Theru. I just, since there's tower light
Honestly,
going all the
Well,
time.
Yes.
Tower Light is different from Stormlight.
Well, that's the thing.
so
They
is
made
there
it to the creation
anti-tower
of-
light?
Yes, there should be. It should not be easy. It should be very easy to create.
Yes,
How they should.
that is okay. So that is exactly my point. The fact is sure you want to have anti-investiture, you want to have anti-light, fine, but it should be rare and finite and hard, sort of like the aluminum cubes were for a long time Mistborn. You know, the cubes that stopped you from being able to, you know, they had to manufacture them. Each one was valuable because there weren't a lot of them.
Right, or it can only be produced if you have a large hadron collider.
Right, know? Right. It takes a lot of resources to produce, or it's very hard to produce.
Is it Hydron? It's Hedron, isn't it?
Hydron. I don't know. Both. It sounded good to me what you said, but it's just like, it's just we have enough anti-stormlight to, you know, put in a bunch of arrows. We got daggers, and, you know, I'm gonna make a helicopter out of it so I can shoot fucking anti-stormlight bullets. I mean, it's
literally all you need to make the anti-light is just a sheet that has the rhythm and then reverse it, and then you get it. So it's not a hard process. Tower light admittedly might be hard due to the fact you can't store it, and so the only way the singers could get it would go to a place that would knock him and make him go crazy. But stormlight and void light, those should not be hard to come by. Just go to the relevant storm, get as many fucking gems as possible, and then undo it.
Well,
just like, make it anti.
It's like, and if tower light's the answer, then shouldn't we be figuring out a way to use tower light instead of stormlight? Because then that negates the whole problem.
They were trying
We're not doing any of that.
They kind of then don't bring it up again.
Thank you, Adega.
Their thing was, all your containers have too many holes. It's like, okay, is there a way we can make something that doesn't have holes? We have perfect gems that don't leak. Will those work?
Have you considered that Shalon has 2 spread?
Oh God. Adega for $4.99 for whatever their goal is for and the unit ended humor.
Unintended humor.
Thanks, man.
Unintended, yeah. I don't know, but just to find something without holes, Renarin's not going to like that. So.
No, he's not. Neither is Drehy. They're not all for that. I don't know. It's gotten so weird. But well, I guess we've been going for almost 2 hours, so anything we got to get off our chest before? I think we've talked about most of it. I'm just so sad. I'm sad. That's all. I'm just sad.
They made anti-stormlight this thing that was supposed to be like something that made even a god think the war would end, as a way of making the 2 immortal armies finally die, and none of those 2 armies have touched it. None of them. It has been a different faction from off-world that's made use of it.
This has come. I just can't believe that this is coming right off of the Sunlit Man.
Yeah,
which was.
I
love the Sunlit Man so much. It's just been shocking how bad this book is.
I would rather read The Nightmare Painter again, because at least the way that was bad, it was in large part due to it being super heavily predictable. It just wasn't something I'd ever want to reread.
Maybe I should try reading it again after this.
You predicted that the bad guy was a rogue AI?
I predicted the relationship.
Yeah.
This is the part that makes me even sadder, is Aldan is off the King Kaladin train.
Right, yeah. The fact that Aldan has managed to be the first of us to truly fall off, I think, is very telling.
Never would have predicted it. Not if you'd given me 1,000 to 1 odds.
No. It's a sign that something is definitely wrong.
Something is foul in the state of Denmark.
Yep.
I'm at this point just hoping there's gems in the rough later on, something, because it's like, can you really go the entire book without doing one thing good?
Well, maybe he let the beta writers write the first half, and he is gonna do this and that's why they're releasing it, and then the next 2/3 is gonna be actually Sanderson.
We're hoping.
I'm
hoping his Sander launch is still Sander launch.
Lift is saying shit.
I will say it's not just us too, though. It's not just the uber nerds. My wife is a total normie, and she doesn't read a lot of fantasy, but she's read Sanderson, and that's about it. And she just told me, because I was telling her about this book today and how disappointing it has been, and she's like, "Yeah, I hated." She hated book 4. She absolutely hated book 4, and she said Shalon was her favorite character, and by the end of book 4, she hates Shallan.
Yeah, I could see why.
Well,
I
it's like
hated Shallan in that book.
the rules don't apply to Shallan. It's like
No.
the rules don't apply. She's got 2 Spren because one's a Deadeye. Well, why isn't Adolin? Adolin's got more of a bond to his Deadeye than she. So why can't? Well, because he's not Shallan. It's like or she killed it, like how she killed it. It made it a Deadeye and then bonded it after because she killed it. Like what? Huh?
Like Shallan's bullshit started, I think, the most at book 4 when no rules applied to it. Her entire arc in that was built on bullshit that didn't connect.
I think it started book 4 because we tried to retcon the sword, the sword being a shard blade in the safe, and we had to come up with an answer, and the answer was Testament, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's never made sense.
Yeah, and I think there's a deeper question that, and I even look at something like Sunlit Man, and the question still applies. Does Sanderson still write books for dudes?
This isn't for dudes.
No. I don't know who it's for because
my wife didn't like it either.
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean. But I don't know who this is for because
we know exactly who it's for.
Well,
what do you mean?
We know it's for his editors and his whatever.
Well, that leads that's the discussion of the greater problem is you see who he surrounded himself with or who is now surrounding him, and is that the crux of what's going on? Is he's now surrounded by all these people that don't have his best interest at heart, and they're giving him bad advice, and he's following it? I don't know.
I mean,
and also, go you first.
Shallan's whole chain, the way her arc has just pivoted from book 4 and 5, I think is definitely a consequence of that. Because he was clearly going down a different route. He was going to have Vale die. And then I remember them being pushed back about that because people were like, no, that's not how I wanted it to go. And since then, Shallan has changed to have it so Vale is still there. I feel like that is a direct consequence of other people stirring his pot.
Well, I agree with that. No, I actually read a comment on your favorite website, Shai, and it was essentially every single chapter of this book I've read, I can tell which portion of the fan base it's trying to make happy.
Yeah, and I can understand a little bit why he might feel the need to capitulate to that fan base because they are very vocal. Right?
And they've made it basically all of it online.
They're very vocal, and they make themselves sound like they are the majority. But like we just saw with the election, they're not. Right? This stuff isn't popular anymore. This new generation of high school students are completely rejecting this kind of ideology. They think it's cringy. And there's been a massive pushback, and unfortunately, the people who are vocal, like the people who show up and ask him questions, I hear this question every single time. I've watched a lot of Q&As with Brandon Sanderson. I'm a uber nerd, okay? I watch all the spoiler Q&As, and it's like the people who show up to ask questions haven't watched any of those because without fail, every single time he gets the same question of like, oh, you're really good at doing mental illness in your books. How do you handle that and make sure that you're doing it correctly? It's been asked on every single panel he's ever been in. He gets applauded for his inclusion of mental illness. And he used to be good at it. He used to be good at that, and he's not anymore because he started listening to the people who were asking those questions. He started listening to the fans who praise it, and he's getting bad advice. He's surrounding himself by people giving him bad ideas, and he thinks that's what the fans want.
The online forum, I've been on it, it pretty much filters itself to keep only those of like-minded or people who won't speak against it. They are basically the definition of the oversensitive, toxic crowd.
You can't tell me that book 1 Kaladin Depression wasn't amazing.
It was great.
I loved it.
I mean,
I suffer from depression. It is some of the best depression I've seen in a book ever.
yeah, and I mean, I tend to agree. I think overall, book 1 was actually really, really good, but book 4 depression
No,
was terrible.
no. It's real bad.
And I guess I don't know what
happened.
Well, here's the thing. Look at what's happened with society. Okay, how are we treating mental illness right now? We're not saying we're not teaching kids how to deal with mental illness. We're telling them to listen to the voices.
Yeah,
We're telling them it makes you special.
That is how
You're
Shallan's often treated now.
Yeah.
It's not just a Cal thing. Shallan's thing was initially meant to be something to grow and overcome.
It's
now
not
been something she's embracing.
That mental illness is celebrated right now.
To the fact where Vale is not gone. Vale is gone, but
Pisses
not.
me off.
man,
But-
Shaw, you crushed that. That was an excellent call out, sir.
Yeah.
But Aldan says it never was Tex. It was tolerated because empathy is a thing. There's a difference when it's in your face. Empathy goes only so far. I'm not sure what he was referring to.
He's
I
talking
think
about
it's the
general
whole climate
wokeness.
toward stuff.
I just, I don't know why we're in this world where we get 3 chapters of sexy talk between a 13-year-old and a 5-year-old and a spren, and then we have we're in such a weird place.
Because here's the thing: this came out of left field. This is beyond what I had actually feared. I feared something like this would happen, something where he starts to follow the trend that every fucking piece of media seems to be following and just goes to shit. But I never expected it to be this bad ever, especially so suddenly, because he just wrote 3 books and none of them had this kind of issue.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
and
which books are you describing? Because
Just the novellas, like those have the same issues as this. They still were at least competently written to some extent, even the ones I didn't like. This one though just doesn't seem to even have the basic stuff that you would expect him to be able to do from his first book.
well, I guess I look at something like Tress, and Tress had a, functionally a beta male main and an extra special snowflake girl.
Yeah, but that's still I enjoyed it. It was still like a plot.
I like Triss.
Like, events happened.
Okay.
Things were still going. The prose wasn't gone to shit. It's like
Nobody said
the
nobody
prose
said
was
shit.
getting real modern in Tress.
Who said shit and Tress? No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Okay. I just
I thought
like
that was just him being the style thing with wit.
the biggest problem I have with all of this too is we have all of that stuff, but usually if it's in there, so say Tress, you have all that stuff in there, but at least there's some entertaining stuff in there as well.
There's a dragon in it,
and stuff like there's dots being connected, and there's stuff happening.
Yeah.
Now
There's
we
a
have
laptop in that book.
we have nonsense. The plot in the story in this is nonsensical.
Yeah.
You set up this 8-day this countdown to war, and I can't imagine the board. I don't know what's going on. The army. I don't see. You've sort of said these things and then expected us to sort of fill in the blanks, and we can't because it's all over the place. Then you got Mink. You told us it's going to be one thing, and it's clearly not. It's supposed to be. This is supposed to be our Zeth book. It's definitely not a Zeth. So I mean, there better be a lot of Zeth in the second half.
But he's literally told us the thing that we wanted isn't important.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you another example of this thing falling off bad. Shallan is in shard plate and manages to pin Ayatil to the ground, and his explanation of how she got away was
Wrestling
wrestling twist.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And you're just like,
And you guys brought up
not real
especially
shard
it's even worse after he's introduced the concept of using the shard plate to pin them down too.
To paralyze them, yes.
I think it might not be actual shard plate, would be just my only guess, because I don't think I can have shard plate in Shadesmar, and I'm just guessing it's
No,
metal.
he's talking about in the room.
In the fight.
room,
This was
which is
in the room where when they found out who she was, she summoned her retarded shard plate, and
right.
Shalom!
Okay. The fact that this is something I'm irritated, because Sanderson should be the type to do this. Why doesn't she have the idea to use parts of her shard plate to restrain parts of other people?
Yes.
That would definitely be.
Well, that was also my thing with the anti-investiture. We don't know what happens if one of those hits a shard plate. Does it actually explode, or is it different? We haven't tested that.
I get why you might not want to risk killing it, but also,
it's just
Fuck
one
that
strand.
one random shard.
It's just one cultivate. It's just one creation spread. There's tons of them.
You should probably figure it out.
It's just like it's something you should test.
But I mean, it's not even like, he's saying like, she used the investiture of speed to get out of it. It was literally just a wrestling twist, and it's just like, can I get some fucking description, my guy? Like,
and they call her John Cena.
Because these are.
Yeah,
these
that
are
was
people
weird. I forgot about that.
These are people with radiant powers. They're people who are from Scadrial and probably might be mistings potentially, and also Ghostbloods who just have access to a lot of shit.
Well, that's fine, but we know that. So have her have her drink a vial.
I don't know why we haven't seen that. Why don't we
just have her pop a vial, and like if she slips out, it's like, oh shit, maybe it was a pewter arm or something, or have her do something like, or color, like drain the color out of the floorboard, right? I mean, like, you have the stuff around. We know they have investiture from different places. If you're gonna have them escape by going, oh, shard plate, literally the toughest shit on fucking 4 planets. Oh, I'm out. It's like, what? No, like there has to be something going on.
Have her eat the shard plates.
Yeah, right, or something. It's like, so. All right, well, it's getting late, guys. Thank you for hanging out so late. I can see we're all sort of losing it here. So,
long day.
Yeah, so I'm sad. Like that's the parting words for anybody watching any replays here. I'm sad. We all want it to be good.
Yeah.
Me and Alan were talking about before we went live. This was supposed to be us geeking out and theorizing what the hell was going on in the book.
It was supposed to be a fun stream
and having fun and talking about what's going to happen next and trying to guess things, and that is just completely not what's happening.
I keep looking in Cosmere chat and Red Hand and some of those who haven't read the sample chapters talking about Wind and Truth and hoping to see more of Cal return to form. And I just can't decide whether or not to break it to them. Like, just don't. Just read this. Don't read. Just don't hope for this. It's not happening.
It's just, it's Kaladin's not in the book. Kaladin and Seth aren't in the book. I don't know where they are, but all right. Well, thank you, everybody, and shit. I don't know. Maybe we reconvene for the last chapters instead of doing it weekly. Maybe we wait for the last. Is it 3 weeks left?
I think you're right. It's only a few weeks left.
So maybe we just get the unless we read the next ones, and if we get a really good set, maybe we come back. Other than that, we finish up.
So.
Yeah, I think it's just 2 weeks left because Dragonsteel's on the 5th through 7th.
Yeah, you're right. So
I feel bad that I'm gonna buy this book.
I'm still gonna.
I bought it a year ago.
Yeah, me too. As soon as it got available, I bought it on Audible, and I'm ready to go. So, but. So we'll figure it. We'll be back to discuss the last few before the book comes out, and hopefully some Wheel of Time stuff this weekend. And I'm gonna try and do Gladiator 2 because fuck that movie, and hopefully some more videos coming out soon because I gotta.
Has there been Wheel of Time news?
Oh, we're talking about doing book stuff, like actually talking about good stuff, talking about favorite moments and shit. So. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Saturday, hopefully. That's the plan.
Good.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put something together and try and advertise that I'd like to cycle a bunch of people through. Start with some people, talking about our favorite moments, and then just bring people on as they want and just talk about it until we're blue in the face. Because I love the Wheel of Time. I miss the Wheel of Time. Fuck the show. And yeah, so that's the plan.
Kaladin is Rand. If Rand didn't have land to tell him to stop being a little bitch sometimes.
It's highly possible. Michael Carpenter should have won though.
I agree.
The
Michael
first
Carpenter
rule
should've
of
won.
being a man is becoming a therapist.
Yes, face it on your bed with your back on the ground, eating stew.
Face it on your reclining couch.
Yes, and whining all the time. But Michael Carpenter was robbed. Right hand of God, wielder of Excalibur, should have won. But just saying. Zach, your list is broken. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
That's it.